but you're aiming to break a record. And I feel like from right there, like that shows the seriousness of your craft, like how serious you are in the field
Yeah.
that you're in. It's like, okay, Kobe set a scoring record of 81 points in a single game, right? I want to be the one to try to set at least 82, and he went for 83. So that's a good thing right there. Not a lot of players are doing that. Even Curry, right? Which Curry is the best three-point shooter in the league. So right there, I know like, and I say the reason why I say it's a personal thing because this for me it shows your character. Like a person that like when you're committed to your writing, regardless if it's good or bad, right? It's a statistics game. I read this book where it's like you play a numbers game. Regardless if it's good or bad, you get it out. Because if you write 100 books, within that 100, you're gonna at least have five good ones. That's like, they're deemed worthy of really being published, a bestseller. Like, but you have to endure that mental pain of writing because we already know how everything that comes with writing books, right? But to write 100, I've written 100 books, and five of them were good enough right there. Like one, come on, people are gonna quit after the first two. If the first two doesn't even seem good, people are gonna quit. But to
So
keep going. Now go ahead.
based off of that number 100, there's a ancient Chinese proverb or something. Some ancient Chinese something that's like the philosopher has a group of students and then assigns one group to create 100 clay pots and the other group to create one clay pot. And then, for a certain duration. And after that duration, who has the best pots? Is it the
Mhm.
one that, is it the group that focused on creating one perfect clay pot? Or was it the group that made 100 clay pots? And it was the group with 100 clay pots. Because through the process, you're not worried. Once you eliminate perfection, you do something so often and you repeat the process. You get so good at a process, you're
Yes.
unafraid of mistakes. You just keep learning, learning, and learning. And
Yeah.
through that, you, over the aggregate, just create better. And it's the same thing if a professor assigns one group 100 paintings versus create one painting. The one painting, and I feel like most people in our society, the narrative around art and creativity is focused on like, oh, the person who spent 5 years working on this one album or this one painting. But in reality, actually, it was photography. So if you take one photo versus 100 photos, and you
Mhm.
could do this with paintings too,
Mhm.
the group can, the consistent thread is that the groups with subscribed with 100 consistently created the best works.
And I agree with that. And that goes back to just falling in love with the work, right? Because let's say because you use the clay pots, right? Let's keep it to that. And 100 clay pots, right? You're making this. Even if it's in a group setting, like you're working with a team to make this, right? How many people start to get, you know, uh unmotivated by clay pot number 10? And how many more people, let's say if it's five of us, right? And our task is to make 100 clay pots, right? And hopefully, come up with this one excellent one. Let's not say perfect, but an excellent clay pot. So we have 100 tries. How many people will still be around, at the end when it gets to that 100th one? Like, not too many people would like because just the whole process of it, it's like you really have to go through like that mental endurance of like fuck, I gotta stay focused on the task. Like I have to stay focused on the task. And life hits us so many times with other distractions, and it's like now it becomes like, you know what? I'm gonna just do this because my mind is starting to trick me and convincing me like, man, you know what? It's better to just give up on this and do this. It's like it's more easier, it's more convenient. It's less stressful. This and that, and some people, be persuaded by that. But to say, you know what, regardless of the fact, the task is that we need to create a clay pot, and if it takes 100 tries to do this, then this what it is. But that process right there, because it shows strength in your character.